How bad MrBeast is? MrBeast is bad? Oh shit. So he put out a tweet today. He said, one of the funniest videos we've done in a while, go watch. And it's MrBeast. Look who you got there, right? You got Speed, Kai, Gideon. I don't know any of these guys. That's Logan Paul. It's Chandler, Carl J. I don't know any of the other guys. He's posting, and he's not even, bro. The allegations. We haven't forgotten, Jimmy. Forgotten about what? Forgot. What do you mean? Forgot about what? We didn't forget what you did, little bro. Really? I think. What do you mean? What's he talking about? I forgot. Fake chair? No. He wouldn't have done that. No. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
Did you? I want to see if you saw. Did you see the MrBeast thing where he rented out the theater to
Yes, this
eat
is
his
so funny.
Lunchables and watch the Talk Tour podcast?
What a fucking idiot.
Do you know Talk Tour? Do you know the Hawk Tour girl?
Yeah, I know. Gotta give me that Hawk Tour.
What did you think about MrBeast's generational fall off?
What do you think first? Because I mean, anyone that thinks MrBeast.
I don't know if people are saying it's a fall off. Like, I'm not sure really if it's a fall off. I honestly, like, my perspective on this is that I think that a lot of people are kind of fed up. It is, but like, who's mad? Like a few people on Twitter. Who cares? Like, just being honest, like, it doesn't matter. Like, that never make a man. Yes, numbers don't agree with this fall off. Yeah, bro. Like, he's still doing well.
This is about anything other than making himself the richest YouTuber in the world.
There you go. There you go.
Missed something.
Oh, big money.
I've met his manager, Reed, 2 years ago. I had a video call. He's left him. His manager, Reed, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
He was nice enough, but they were very much like, how can you make us more money? And I was like, I mean, I like to make videos that are fun and educational. And like, yeah, but money.
I feel like they're a company. I mean, it's not bad to try to make money, is it? I feel like this, I don't like the virtue signaling that a lot of content creators do about how they don't care about money. I don't like it because I think that it's inauthentic and it's not true. A lot of people care about money. You do it? No, I don't. No, I don't. I say all the time I like making money. I take sponsors all the time. Of course I make money. Like, I don't live like that. It's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. But like, it's very easy to say that you don't care about money when you have money. Like, of course, yes, it's easy to say that you're above it when you are, when you spawn above it. Like, am I crazy? Like, I find it to be annoying. That's why I say every time that I tell people that I don't take donations or something like that, I always say, and I'm not doing this for a moral reason. I think it's virtue signaling. I do.
We care about, and that day after the call with Reed, I was going surfing with Felix.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm actually going to see Felix in a minute. And they were like, we want to have MrBeast, Jimmy come over, and we're going to have this we want to do like a handoff where like, from one YouTuber to the next, to the top of their game. And I was like, this just sounds the most pretentious fucking shit I've ever heard.
So he's actually bringing up a really good point here, and I think this is a problem that I think MrBeast has. So this happens to a lot of orgs and companies, is that when a company gets really big, what ends up happening is that they start employing people that are too disconnected from the grassroots appeal of the content, and then they look at it from like a business perspective, and they don't have the eye for content. Like, anybody can see, like, if like, as a fan, as a viewer, like, I can see how this is really weird and corpa, right? It's like this, like, weird, like, these are the people that would be telling him that he should make an NFT line in 2021, right? It's a huge fucking problem. And with this, I completely agree with him on. It's absolutely fucking soulless. And this is what happens when you bring in people that are part of an environment that did not share the success of growing that environment. That's what happens.
Oh yeah, great. I like.
Feels weird.
Felix
Yeah,
wants
it's
that.
unironically corporate. Yeah,
and just hand some sort of weird trophy or something. I was just
somebody says apply that to any small business that scales. I think that you're totally right. You're absolutely right. And I think that for leadership, it's so obvious when you have people that aren't involved and people that are involved. Like, I think that the best example that I can think of right now is with Twitch. Think about how involved Dan Clancy is with the community and how much he's actively interfacing with the community, and he's actively streaming himself, and then compare that to Emmett Shear before him. He's doing nothing. Just because people are getting down and they understand what matters.
Very lame. I remember talking to Felix. I was like, this is just so lame now.
I mean,
is this all YouTube is now?
Yeah,
is it all just money?
Yeah,
is
well, mostly. Yeah, mostly.
And then he teamed up. He teamed up with Logan
Yeah,
Paul.
it's always easy to say that it's only about money whenever you have money. Of course, people want to be able to make money on YouTube. Obviously, they want to be able to make money on YouTube because they want to be able to support themselves. This is not a bad thing. This is okay. It's fine to try to make money. I don't like this idea that I think it's pretentious, where we're supposed to like get down on people for trying to make money. And it's always people that are doing it who already have money. I find it to be off-putting. It's my opinion. At what's cost though? They're making a cringy video. Like, who cares? Like it
I tell you, we need to know. Literally, he teamed up with Logan Paul, the biggest. Can I say the C word?
Yeah.
cunt.
Biggest fucking cunt there is, right? I mean, everybody seems to have forgotten what a massive cunt Logan Paul is.
Well, I don't
He
think.
is,
I mean, that,
right?
it's back.
If he's
it's
not
back,
filming
it's back.
He
somebody
is.
who's recently taken their own life, literally from a tree in the forest
Yeah.
and making it about themselves, somebody who has exploited their viewers through cryptocurrency scams.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, you shouldn't be
forgot all
partnering with
about
these sort of
that.
people.
Yeah, it is an odd choice.
I
He does
bet-
seem to like love Logan a lot, and business-wise.
But you and I know behind the scenes,
Yeah.
you know, you've heard bad things about MrBeast for years.
Yeah, you hear rumors. I've heard a lot of rumors.
Yeah,
But,
right?
like nothing that's like substantial. It's just
No.
more like.
And I don't think he's like he's pure evil or anything like that.
No.
I just think people need to look past the philanthropy, which is solely designed for his own benefit. It's a kind of what it's kind of like it's
I
incredible.
think that a lot of people do philanthropy for their own benefit. And I think that, like, I don't really know about these guys, but I'm not sure. I think a lot of people write off philanthropy on their taxes. People obviously raise money and do things for charity so they can make their image look better. That's obvious. Of course people do that. The only time that it's bad is when people do that to make up for bad behavior. So, like, if MrBeast kept doing it now, I would think that it's weird because you're effectively trying to, like, make people think that you're a good person whenever you're, like, trying to rebuild your image. But I don't think that a lot of philanthropy that's done by content creators and influencers is authentic or is altruistic. I would say that, like, 95% of it isn't altruistic. And I feel like that's probably an understatement. But that doesn't make well, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's very judgmental. Everybody does it for benefit. Yeah, exactly.
defensive system where, you know, if you donate money and do some great things,
Yeah.
and he has done great things, we can't deny that. If you can use that really as a sort of deterrent for any criticism, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. The
That's
philanthropy
true, but I don't think he's done that, has he?
it always feels like it's there as a barrier to stop any criticism, and now that has stopped working because people have seen past that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because, like,
Well, the reason why it stopped working is because the criticism wasn't valid before. Like, the criticism that people had for MrBeast prior to this big controversy was stupid. That's the reason why it didn't work. It's not because of the anything else. It's because it was dumb controversy. It didn't make any sense. It's like the blind thing, right? Or like building the wells in Africa. That's the reason why the controversies were bad.
philanthropy is always a tough one because obviously, at the end of the day, it's still good, even if.
Of course.
He's using it as a shield. You're like, all right, well, he's still doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's still good. Yeah,
but
sure.
It feels like it is being used as a tool in some senses, but it's so hard to distinguish when it is and it isn't, right? Because, like, even if it is, it's like, well, it's still a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to use that as a point, like, against him. But
I think it's easy to use it as a point against a person when a person is doing something bad, but they are actively also doing charity in order to use that as a shield for the thing that they're doing that's bad. Previously, Mr. Beast might have been doing that, but he wasn't doing it actively in the public eye, so the intent, or sorry, the effect is different. But I think that if you're using charity as like, oh, well, I'm doing these bad things, but I'm also doing charity, that doesn't really cancel it out. I feel like whenever you do that, it's pretty obvious that you're trying to manipulate people.
Like Jacksepticeye when he did the comment years ago. It was about a year ago now, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
A completely unrelated question. Do you like Mr. Beast?
Ooh,
No.
No.
Do you think Mr. Beast ruined YouTube?
Yes,
Why?
because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
You know, and he was like, I hate.
I'm sorry. I think it is so pretentious. It is so crazy and pretentious to say that stuff. It is. It's so pretentious because, like, obviously it's about money and views. What are you talking about? Of course you're uploading videos for money and views. That's not a bad... It always has been like this. You say that, but it doesn't have to be. But it always is. And the people that are saying this are able to say it because they have the money and they have the views. So it's easy to go and demonize somebody else because they're in a position that you don't like for whatever reason. But the truth is that they do the same thing. Everybody does this. People are constantly doing things for money and views. It's not, he's doing this video for money and views. That's not a bad thing. I feel like the focus, and this is why I find it to be unhealthy. So basically, I think a huge problem with YouTube, and it's a huge problem with influencer culture in general, is that there is this illusion that's being created by influencers that you're their friend and that they're doing it for you and that they care about you, the individual viewer. And I think that this parasocial relationship is very unhealthy. And I think that it's unhealthy in both directions. And I think that saying things like that, what it does is it breeds that parasocial relationship. It's a marketing tactic, right? And to make them think that that's not what it is. I don't like that. I find it to be inauthentic, and I think that it's patronizing, and I think it's pretentious. You're uploading content for views. That's not a bad thing. The videos are monetized. That's also not a bad thing. Stop trying to act like you're doing it for the people and you care about them. You can also care about them, sure. But doing it for money isn't a bad thing. You're right, and for the most part, I agree with you, but you don't know him. Jacksepticeye means that. It's easy to mean that when you have 20 million subs and you're a multimillionaire. That's my whole point. It's so easy to say this when you're in a amazing position that nobody else hardly is ever in. Self-care, yeah, I don't know. Most of your streamers are no more background news for other people, yeah. Kind of because you can apply that logic to any business, yeah. Stop trying to invalidate genuine opinions because you think it's pretentious. I don't think that it's pretentious. I think that it's hypocritical. And I think that everybody that's uploading content onto YouTube is doing it for money and views. And I think that people constantly try to pull the ladder up on other people that are doing it in ways that they don't find acceptable based off of personal criteria that is most of the time subjective. It might be a genuine opinion, but I think that that genuine opinion is informed by not having to need that in the first place. Today, yes, not before necessarily. Come on. Is subjectively wrong, all of them? It's one hell of an accusation. Yes, of course people upload content for money. Please do not fall for the idea that people are uploading content onto YouTube because they love you. This is their job. They are an LLC. This is I just, it's so fucking sad to see this happen. It's so sad. It's not bad to upload content and to make content for money. And I find it pretentious and annoying when there are people who are multimillionaires for uploading content for money who are trying to demonize other people who upload content for money. I think it's pretentious, it's patronizing, it's annoying, it's disingenuous, and it forms parasocial behavior bonds that I think are unhealthy. I'm sorry. Depends on the content? No, it doesn't.
How YouTube's about this and that, and then MrBeast went off on one, and they had to sort of apologise. But deep down, you know, Jack, that's what he really thinks. And recently, with recent events,
he's so mature and so chill. He was just like, I just don't want to deal with this. This is not what I wanted it to be.
And you can tell,
you know, it's aged well. The clip's aged well.
It's aged very well. You know. But anyway, yeah, and there's other things I could talk about this. Things I've seen, heard, read behind the scenes. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I've been waiting to say things a long time about that.
A good rule of thumb is that if you see a creator who seems like they have a lot of friends, they hang out with a lot of people, they're normally a bit more well-adjusted, I think. There's a certain group of people or creators that you interact with and you're like, makes a lot of sense now why people didn't really hang out with them much.
This part is true. However, MrBeast has a group of friends, right? It's rotating. Yeah, no, I actually think this is a good point Connor's making. Yeah, very true. Yeah, if you, if nobody wants to be around you, then maybe you're the asshole. Imagine that. And also, content creators, this is another really big component to it. A lot of people make content together. I think a really great example of this that's more traditional is like Mythbusters. It was a pretty open fact that like the two guys, I forgot the other guy, like the guy that looked like the walrus and the guy that still does stuff now, they didn't really like each other or get along very well, but they worked together. Content creators are doing the same thing. Jamie and Adam, yeah. And they never really liked each other that much, right? That's fine. That's not a bad thing. They're working together. Like, making content with other people is a job. But people are fine with content creators making money. The viewers just want them to be passionate as well. They don't care about the amount of money they make if they're passionate. What I'm telling you is that the pursuit of trying to perceive emotions through a computer screen that is curated for you to feel a certain way about it is unhealthy, and I don't think that you should pursue that type of distinction, because you don't have the amount of tools and information to make that decision. And you never will. It's unhealthy to pursue that.
Annoyed me. So remember the kids' blindness thing?
Yeah.
Kid blindness, right?
Yes.
Kid blindness.
I know why I'm laughing at that. It's just the thumbnail. The thumbnail is so demonic.
Here's the dilemma.
Like,
it's one of those things. On the one hand, brilliant. He, you know, helped kids deal with blindness, which is really great. But I kind of, you can picture the meeting, having met his manager and talked to people behind it. You can picture that meeting, how it went in a room in North Carolina.
Can't believe you called him a walrus. You can't believe I called him a walrus. But everybody knows that he looks like a walrus. Everybody knows this. Like, that's just the way it is. Yeah. You know what? I know what everybody knows it. Yes. Come on.
We need to make more money. The team's got bigger. We need to increase our revenue by like 10%. Who's got some fucking awesome ideas out here? And they went, what if we do bomb a truck and throw a train off a cliff? We'll do it. Any others? Cure blindness. We could like cure 100 kids blindness. Yeah. Fucking, that's the one. That's going to get the headlines. And that is how it's not like he read an article and went, man, this issue is really bad. If we could make a documentary covering this topic about blindness that could be cured, that's the way to tackle it. You can make a really well-made documentary. He could cure blindness in 100 kids and still have the click-through rate that he demands, and actually cover the subject in a serious matter. And yet, it was not that. It was, cure the blindness, done, got my money, here's the sponsor, well, hey, done. Money. Noble acts, no doubt about it. You can tell he doesn't...
I don't see this as being a problem. I really don't. I don't see this... I struggle to see how MrBeast curing people of blindness is in any way a bad thing. I'm not seeing it. And I think that it was so obvious that this criticism was ridiculous, and now people are retroactively looking at it and saying that it's bad. But like, the initial criticism of the MrBeast video was met with universal mockery for how retarded it was. And so you can't retroactively go back and ascribe a different intent to something and say that it was a bad thing when the only reason that you could say that it's bad is something that happened in the future. They don't feel like he's being genuine about it. Here's the problem, is that I think that the pursuit of looking for genuine content on the internet is unhealthy. I fundamentally think that it's unhealthy. And I think that the focus around it, I think it breeds a certain type of viewer and a certain expectation that isn't good for people to have. Back-to-back LTX? No, I really think this. It's the results that matters. OnlyFans not real? Yeah, exactly. Why is he defending Jimmy? I'm not. MrBeast is an asshole. He's a piece of shit. For sure. I watched like 10 videos. I farmed MrBeast drama for weeks. It's not about MrBeast. That's not the point. Premeditation is bad by law. Are you serious? Well, it's not premeditation, is it? Regardless of what the intention is, he cured 1,000 people. Yeah, you're talking about the... Yeah, this is the underlying problem. And I think this underlying problem and this parasocial desire that people have that certain streamers and content creators try to cultivate, I think is unhealthy, and it creates a type of viewer and a type of fan that I don't think online content should be pursuing. I find it to be very problematic. I think you're genuine or something that isn't genuine. I don't watch it. Easy. What my point is that the pursuit of looking for something that's genuine is something that is unhealthy. I think that looking for content creators who are genuine is unhealthy because it implies that you can tell what the difference is. And I think that with the amount of people that we've found over the years that everybody thought that they were good people, but it turned out that they were terrible, I think that it should give people a degree of humility in thinking that they can perceive intentions and emotions. Like Boogie's a great example, right? You can't see somebody's real self through a camera. This is a created performance. And the goal of trying to find a real person on a camera, I think it's on the same spectrum as trying to find a wife at a strip club. They're paid to act like they like you. Don't get it twisted. I know that this is an unpopular opinion, but I think that in time, more people will see this problem and they will see how prevalent it is. I don't think that people realize it. I get twisted? Yes. People buy animals even though that they know it's going to die. It's the same with streamers. Everything is unhealthy. I don't think that's the same. But you think buying a pet is the same? I think you're going in hyperbole. There's a healthy amount of nuisances to the problem. The vast majority of streamers like the new reality TV show, and you just see all the bad actors. So what? It's actually worse. People do find wives at strip clubs. Yeah, I know. I had a friend that had found a wife in a strip club. The end result was that they're separated. She has custody of the kid. He spent a year in jail. And yeah, things aren't going very well. So that's my whole point. You don't want to do that. Don't make that mistake. What a life, yeah. Right, I think people don't want to raise their curtain on their escape. They want connection to popular people. This is the way that I see it. And I know that this opinion is really unpopular, but I think that's the issue. It's very easy for two guys to sit in a room who are multimillionaires from making content to talk about how bad somebody else who's a multimillionaire for making content is for making money. I think I think that the pursuit of trying to like figure out who's authentic and who's not, I think it's an unhealthy obsession that viewers have because you never know what a person... It implies that you know a person through watching videos of them, which I think is not true. I think it's fundamentally not true. You can know? No, you can't. You can't know. You think you can know because you're... I don't know. I was going to say socially retarded. I don't think that you're socially retarded. I think you're socially naive.
care. It's just you turn up, make a quick video, back on a private jet to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I think the reason
it's
why
just-
I don't like a lot of those is that it does feel like creatively like void as well. Like there's nothing, like there's no story being pursued.
there's no
here.
story.
There's just money, give, problem fixed, goodbye.
Yeah.
And you just see things happen, events that are impressive. Like I bought $1 million yacht and I sat around it. I rented $1 million yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
But you just feel nothing because there's no emotion, no story, no plot behind it. It's just things happening, and this is what I just hate it.
I think
hate,
that's a fair criticism. You think the videos are boring? Yeah, sure. There's not a lot of like value to it. I think that's fair, for sure.
what YouTube's become.
Well,
and, but I
also-
realise
yeah.
the audience, the kids, mostly under 14, naive, don't understand what's going on. But
think it's
they'll be eating
also-
lunch late and they'll be drinking Prime.
Yeah.
And the next generation is, for lack of a better word, fucked.
Yeah, I mean, there's some videos where I feel like he's done a decent job of like
Yeah.
telling the story, but there's other times where I'm like, man, I feel like the need to have the video be about what you're doing and yourself is sometimes the thing that holds back the video, and it makes it kind of boring. I feel like there's so many interesting stories that other people have that you could show off if you gave them the time, but.
I used to sort of respect him for the sense of
It's hard to say whether that content would be better or not. And it's really hard to say. I think that type of criticism is fair. Are we arguing about this? When people do something as a hobby, they create good stuff. Look at the gaming industry. Look at the movie industry. We see remake after remake every year. They don't put out any original content. Well, like Concord was original and it was bad. The idea that original content is good and unoriginal, like remakes are bad, isn't true. Like, look at the Dragon Ball Z game. Like, it's basically just like the show, but it's remade in a way that's authentic and fair, right? People like it. They feel like this is what they want to see. Silent Hill 2, yeah. It's so surface level.
the hard work and the grinding aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I respect any creator who's done well on YouTube because often there's a lot of time, effort, thought has gone into that. But
Yeah.
somewhere along the timeline, last year or two, the scales have tipped and it's all become a bit ugly.
It's also just boring, which I
And
feel
it's
like
boring,
is,
like,
is the saddest part of this.
Yeah,
It's like,
There's a video I actually want to make. I was thinking about this. I was talking to somebody about this last night. And this actually isn't even about like this topic. This is a total tangent. I think that every online multiplayer game has become formulaic. And I've noticed this myself because like I used to be really into, like, for example, playing like Fortnite or playing World of Warcraft or playing Diablo. But so much more recently, I've just begun to feel fatigued as soon as I look at the way an online game is meant to be played. And I feel like it doesn't really matter which online game it is. I feel like they're all pretty much the same. And this is find out amount of things you can do in the world. Yeah, and it's so weird that like playing Diablo can feel like playing Call of Duty. And playing Call of Duty can feel like playing Honkai Star Rail. And playing Honkai Star Rail can feel like playing, I don't know, like Fortnite. They all feel the same to me. How? Because they're all built around the same. So I know this sounds crazy, right? They're built around the same content delivery mechanism where every 30 to 45 days, a new battle pass or a new seasonal event will happen. And this battle pass or seasonal event will change up the game. And then they do that. And then there are microtransactions that are attached to that event that you can pay for that give you advantages. And I just feel like at a DNA level, like they might be branches and the branches might be different, but it's from the same tree. And I am I the only person who's noticed this? I feel like they're all the same nowadays. And they have like this commonality between all of them, and I find it to be boring. Yeah, the formula, I feel like the formula has been very stale because like I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, why is it that I feel so much more motivated that like I'm looking forward to playing Metaphor more? Because like I know that I'm going to be playing a good game, and it's a different experience. And I feel like now I haven't really felt at all like I want to play a lot of these online multiplayer games, because I just feel like they've all devolved into the same monetization structure, and the monetization is the tail wagging the dog, which is the whole game, and it's built around that. And I can see the criticism of videos that are like this. I do. I can see this because I have it. I see it in games. I don't know. Like, it's because you had a complete product? Yeah, you liked WoW, taking good ideas from other guys? Yeah, but like at a certain point, it becomes fatiguing, doesn't it? I think it becomes, I feel like I'm very fatigued from it.
I watched him
It's so boring.
drive a train off a cliff into
That's
a
the
pit,
worst one.
and he
That's
bombed
terrible.
it, and he blew up a tank, and you're just sitting there like, oh, I don't care, man. Because at the core of a video is a story and people and a plot.
Yeah.
And you know what the best argument for this is? What he's saying, Chris is saying? It's funny that, like, and I hope you guys know that while I think that they are being pretentious about the whole money thing, I think what they're bringing up, I think that this, now they're cooking. I agree with this part. The fuck did it go?
Do you have any oats, brother?
Jesus Christ, it's the wrong one. God fucking damn it. Okay, well, either way, it's the brother may I have some oats. I think that he's absolutely cooking with this part. Where videos don't have any sort of like real authentic story that seems interesting or compelling or relatable. And I think because of that, people don't really care about them.
Narrative and him, it's just the humor and the nothing. It's just boring. That's the future of the internet. So get ready, fasten your seatbelts.
Yeah.
It's about to get a lot shitter. You know, I wouldn't have exploded about this, but the day I saw Beast team up with Logan Paul, who, of course, you know, I was in Japan.
What do you mean you don't want electrolytes in your kids' food?
It's just, I was, you know.
Are you getting enough electrolytes? I think I'm concerned. Are you getting enough?
You weren't here the time he did the everything wrong in Japan thing, right?
I laughed. I was like, of course he did the go-karts. The go-karts that nobody likes.
The go-karts in
Oh my
Tokyo,
God.
because you see them. They go, rum, 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 rum. Everyone's having a lovely day in
Right.
Shibuya. The sun's shining, the birds are singing, hop, skip, and a jump, and then like,
Oh, they're everywhere.
and like
They're
8
everywhere.
dozen fucking go-karts come past. And of course, MrBeast wasn't the first person to
No.
do the go-karts, but he popularized it, and now they're unstoppable. And everyone in Tokyo hates it.
I'm not sure.
It's so annoying because
That's the way I feel about motorcycles. I'm sorry, guys. I think motorcycles are really loud and they're annoying. I do. I think they're annoying.
like there's so much cooler shit you could have done.
Yeah.
And you picked the one thing that was lame.
It's not just annoying though, it's literally very dangerous. Like, it's not going to end well, and it doesn't end well. Crashing into taxi drivers, crashing into my favourite fish and chip shop in Roppongi.
Oh yeah, they did do that. They did crash into the fish and chip shop.
Foreign Taurus.
Oh,
Oh, well,
that.
that's
But yeah, hopefully there's no blowback from saying things.
Oh no, I don't think so. And
I mean, this is at a point where everyone has talked about it, so it's not like Connor and I are ranting about it.
I'm okay with burning my Lunchly sponsor opportunity.
Well, you won't be in a MrBeast video now, will you?
Uh-oh.
I won't get
That's your
invited.
biggest dream.
I was amazed, bro, that they sent me the Lunchly. I was fucking amazed because I have farmed the CryptoZoo drama. I farmed the fuck out of the Logan Paul drama. I'm like thinking, like, should I eat this? Is this poisoned? Like, should I take out a life insurance policy before I do this? Like, I don't know, guys. Like, I've got to really watch out for it. You did them a good review? Well, I gave them a fair review. I know it sounds crazy. I try to be fair, even when it's not popular.
You know, my favorite.
They didn't. Some marketing department sent it to you.
How
They
in every
probably
interview he's
did.
Like, we literally
But
put
still.
all our money back into investing in content. He makes that like he's a genius businessman.
Yeah.
Everybody does that. Everybody invests their revenue back into producing things. That's not.
Except me. I don't put any work into this. Yeah, I don't put any money into this shit. That's it.
Like, he's not a normal
Yeah.
businessman. Like, Oh, it's just I've got an idea.
To be fair, I did invest in a company. Yeah,
Everyone
that's
does
true.
It.
Actually,
Yeah,
Nintendo
okay.
doesn't.
Nintendo doesn't.
Yeah, Nintendo
Okay, to be
Nintendo's
fair,
the most
yeah.
cash-rich company in
Too busy
Japan.
taking down YouTubers for using their music.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just glad we have like a comic book villain to all rally behind that we all really dislike on YouTube. It's good to have
And
someone.
he's partnered with the biggest YouTuber on the platform.
It is an odd choice that he seemed to
Oh, yeah.
go with it.
You think
hey,
his
it is
PR
what it
team would have
is.
been like,
yeah,
hey,
don't do this.
Jimmy bro,
Don't
maybe
do
we
this.
shouldn't, like, given all the terrible things that have been happening these last 6 months,
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't partner with the guy who mocks the dead. No, I'll just make a lunchbox with him. I'll make a lunchbox with this piece of shit drink that's so bad senators in the US have sort of wondered about banning it. Fucking
Yeah, it's not
caffeinated
ideal, is it?
prime
It's
shit.
not ideal.
Oh.
To be fair, the caffeinated prime is not what's included in Lunchly. I guess Chris didn't get the MrBeast box. Okay, to be fair.
Anyway, I'm off to watch the Talk to podcast.
Right, of course. And so, yeah, here's that Prime is awful. Yeah, I go, right, find enemies on the internet. I get what they're saying, right? I see what they're saying. I do think that their focus on trying to find authentic content and the focus that they try to put on the authentic content, I think that it's unhealthy, and I wish they wouldn't talk about it as much like that. I think they're right about saying Logan Paul's an asshole, MrBeast is an asshole, for sure. I think that's fair. But I think that the pursuit of the authentic content and the idea that you can perceive it and like basically enabling viewers to think that themselves, I do think that it's unhealthy, and I think that it creates an unhealthy relationship between viewers and content creators that's easily exploitable, and it can be bad for both sides. Does his content for love of making video making? I don't think he's doing it for views. The money and views are nice, but I don't believe it's his focus. It's always easy to say that you're not doing it for money when you have money. I'm sorry, but I just don't really take the authenticity of what somebody says as seriously when they don't have anything to lose for it. You seem authentic? It's irrelevant whether I'm authentic or not. Like, people can watch the content, you can make that decision yourself. And this is one of the things is, like, I don't really have a lot of like really parasocial viewers. And I know you guys are going to be, oh yeah, you do. Of course I do. But what I'm saying is, like, the ratio of that is actually quite low. I have a very low ratio of parasocial viewers. The reason why is I try to come on, I try to entertain people, I try to be funny, and if people like the show, I hope they stick around and watch. That's it. I stream every day. I like streaming, but I don't try to be like, oh, this is genuine, this is how I really feel. Like, people can say anything that they want. There's plenty of people that say that. I think that it's ultimately a criticism of the content itself. High percentage charge, though? Yeah, your internet news for me? Sure. Parasocial viewers tend to be more emotional about things, so they're probably pissed off, most of them. I have no problem pissing off parasocial viewers. I, in fact, enjoy it. And I think that it's something that has been overly due for many, many years. That's the way I see it. Someone call that devoted? Yes. Are you saying that you're lying to us? Absolutely, I'm lying to you. The way that I act on stream isn't the way I act around my dad. The way that I act around my dad isn't the way that I act around my friends. That's normal. That's healthy. That's real. And I think that it's like an ironic catch-22, because I think that the reality is accepting that you don't know what reality is. And so it's just taking things for what they are, trying to enjoy them, and not turn them into an emotional endeavor. Damn, disillusioned. Think you're authentic, but you're mostly entertaining. That's what matters. Being entertaining. I don't want people to I don't want people to be like, oh, well, I really like you, so I'm gonna watch you do everything. That's how you. That's a person that ends up in your closet that kills you in your sleep. Okay, like I want to entertain you guys. That's my goal. That's what I like doing.